Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na.
Hey everybody, it's Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters. Thanks for watching this episode of a typewriter tutorial. I'm taking a look at a Royal Aristocrat today. And I call them my army typewriters because they're brown and green. Not my favorite color scheme, this particular one. I don't know if the Aristocrat came in other colors or not, but the thing about this one, this is a 1954, and it has the same body style as the Royal Quiet Deluxe, which I find very funny. It's basically the same typewriter, but, everybody loves the fun colors of the Royal Quiet Deluxe. I'm not complaining because I own all the colors. I'm one of those people. And they're fun typewriters, but they're not the best typewriters for active users. I pull mine out and use it for fun every once in a while, but if I'm going to sit down and actually write for a while, I don't use my Quiet Deluxes. I use either I have a Royal, an older Royal, or a Smith Corona Electric that I use for that. It's more for fun writing. And I would say that for this one as well, the Aristocrat. And this is my personal opinion. So you guys can have different opinions. And if you do, just be nice about it. That's all I ask. I don't get into arguing and snotty marks. I'm just not into that. So that's probably why I don't spend much time on social media. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about a Royal Aristocrat in that it looks like a Quiet Deluxe. It operates like a Quiet Deluxe. The color scheme is just different, much more drab, much more subdued. So it's going to be actually a lot less cheaper if you're looking at the pretty colors of the Royal Quiet Deluxe from the 50s. You're going to pay a lot more money. So if that's what you want, great, go for it. But if you're just looking, you like the shape and you kind of like the feel of that Quiet Deluxe, then the Aristocrat might be a really good option for you, and it's going to be much more affordable for you. Has the flat keys, which I really like. They just sit well, especially on the smaller hands, and they're a little bit closer together. So as a manual, I find it to be easier for me to use, and I have very petite hands, which makes it a wider possibility, like for younger, because a lot of younger people are really getting into typewriters, and for a manual, this is a really good one for them. Sometimes manuals are tough for the younger kids, but I think they would be able to navigate this one pretty well. All right, I'm just going to show you how to use a Royal Aristocrat at this point. And so thanks for listening to my opinion on it. All right, you flip back this top part and you're going to see where you set your tabs. And it says tabulator right here. And you just press and drag. And a lot of people don't use tabs, but if you want to use it, this is where you set it. This has magic margins. Not a fan of magic margins, but it is what it is. So the way to use a magic margin, here's my margin right here. And let's say I want to move it out this way. So I'm going to hold down the left magic margin tab. And at the same time, I'm going to move my carriage. And then I'm going to release. And so now my margin is over here. And you may be like, wait, how do you move your carriage? You're right. I jumped ahead of myself there. All right, so to move your carriage, there's a little tiny lever, and it's behind the handle on either side. And it doesn't matter which side you use. Either one will work, and that moves your carriage. Your carriage is only going to move as far as you have your margin set. So you'll see it's going all the way to the beginning here because we just moved it. But if I go here, it stops. And you're like, hey, I want it to go all the way to the end. No problem, we can do that. So we're going to do the same thing that we did over there. Press down the right magic margin tab, hold it down while releasing the carriage. And there is a squirrel looking at me at the door. Why are you not hibernating? Anyway, me and the squirrels. I should write a book about it because they really wreak havoc over here. I need to wake up my dog and have him chase them off. Anyway, they destroyed my plants, my patio plants this summer. So I'm not, and then they peed all over my deck. So I'm not happy with him. So I'm not sure why he's up here on my deck in December. All right. That was like, squirrel. Hey, it really was. I can actually say that now, and it was really a squirrel. Hope you guys got a kick out of that. Leave a comment below if you got a kick out of my squirrel comment. All right. Back to work. All right, so margins are now all the way out. Now we want to bring them in. That's a little bit easier. Just put it where you want it. Press magic margin. You'll hear it click. There goes the squirrel again. And I'm tempted to go run him off. All right. And if you're a squirrel lover, please don't hate me. They just destroy my stuff. Okay. Over here, same thing. Press that. You'll hear the bell on the right side because your bell is associated with your right margin. So when you set your margin, you're lined up with the margin, and that bell's going to just click off with that. So now if you move it, there's my margins. You hear the bell at the right margin. That bell is to tell you, hey, time to hit your return handle and go to the next line. And then over here is a line selector. You'll see a 1, 2, and 3. Just set that where you want it. There's double line, triple line. There's the single. The little red, this is black. The black lever over here releases the platen, so you can do like a variable spacing or variable adjustment. Just make sure you re-engagement. And what I mean by that is when you turn the handle, you'll hear it click. And it's clicking every half of a line, but sometimes you're like, I want it like right in between that. All right, just move your little lever, line it up exactly where you want it, and re-engage. All right, that's what that is for. I'm gonna move my carriage over to the left to make sure my handle is not anywhere near my lid. I'm gonna pop my lid. I'm having way too much fun today. Anyway, there's a little button right here. Press my button. And that lid's going to pop open, and inside you're going to find your ribbon and spools, your touch control, and the ribbon reversal. So the spools, if you need spools with ribbon, you are in luck. They are on our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com. This will take a universal ribbon, so just pick what kind of universal ribbon you want, and we'll send it to you. If you have your own spools, send it to us. We'll wrap it with fresh ribbon and send it back to you. You can find that under custom ribbon option. All right. When you get to the end of the ribbon, it goes from one side to the other. Then you reverse the direction, and you do that with this lever right here. Okay. Let's see where it's going. There we go. It's going this way. Turn it. Now it's going to go this way. Touch control determines how hard these type bars are going to strike your paper. Set it to whatever you wish. And it has to do with, if you got a light hand, you're going to want a different setting versus a heavier hand. Honestly, I can't tell much of a difference, but some people can. All right, let's go ahead and close this. And be sure, with Smith Coronas, we're used to popping that lid up. But on Royals, you want to press your button, because if you don't, you're going to bend this latch, this release, and which happened on this one. When we got it, every time we breathed on it, it was like popping open, pop. And if that is your typewriter, if it's popping open, you're just going to have to rebend this little latch a little bit and make sure that clasp that. So be sure to use the button. All right, over here, let's go ahead and load some paper. This is one that I typed on already for the Aristocrat. You can see. That's what it looks like. You can also go to the product listing link in the description below to take a look at that paper right there. All right. So, you guys were probably like, hey, how did you do that? And I forget. I had my typewriter at an event 2 weeks ago, and I forget that people don't even know how to load paper. So to load paper, it goes behind this roller right here. You don't have to shove it down there. Just set it there. Turn the handle, it'll pull it through. Make sure it goes underneath the bar. Alrighty, so now you're set. You can just start typing. I was going to show you something. I don't remember what it was. So let's typing. Oh my, there's a squirrel. There's my deck. Oh, it stopped on me. Why did it stop? Well, because that bell went off and I was supposed to hit my return handle. I didn't. So what do? I hit margin release because I want to finish my sentence. I don't want one word on the next line. On my deck. All right. Oh, and I put, I misspelled deck. Deck. Here we go. Misspelled. So what do you do when you make a mistake? Good question. You can backspace. And some people hate this, but you can type over if you want. I just turned my question marks into an exclamation point. Or you can backspace and you can X through it and then retype your word. Oops, see, backspace. I did an E, so I'm just going to put a D there. It's easier to see. Or like I said, or you can go through and you can dash through it if you want. Whatever you want to do, just embrace your mistakes. Embrace your mistakes. It's okay. All right. Good question. Not a good question, but something just came up and I probably should do a full video on it. But sometimes when you're typing, your typewriter might skip a spot. Sometimes that has to do with your typewriter. Sometimes that has to do with you. So I noticed that I skipped a space here, and that was my fault because my finger hit the space bar as I was typing. Or sometimes you'll be typing and you'll have a letter that's halfway up or halfway down. And again, that has to do with timing. When you're typing, I don't know. See, I can't do it when I'm thinking about it. But sometimes I get going too fast and my shift, I release my shift in between typing a letter and it's not lined up properly. So that's a lot easier to do on an electric typewriter than it is a manual. So that's just a little bit of extra information there. Anyway, that's how you use a Royal Aristocrat from the 1950s. I hope you found this helpful, at least mildly entertaining. And I sure would appreciate a subscription, thumbs up, tell your friends that I'm a little weird. I don't care. Just as long as you guys watch our videos. Thanks so much. Have a great day.